Hi, welcome to my lab. Happy Pride Month! To celebrate the most rainbow month of the year, I decided to revisit my Rainbow One Color Challenge series. For the reminder, in this series I am repainting a doll using one color plus black and white. I started last year with color red and my Scarlet Queen, and now it's time for orange. Yes, I am going in the order because I am predictable. Citing Wikipedia, orange is color between yellow and red. That sounds so cliché. On the spectrum of visible light with a dominant wavelength between roughly 585 and 620 nanometers. It represents optimism, energy, youth, and creativity. Fun fact, when I was looking for a meaning during concept art preparation, I found that orange represents also intelligence, but now I cannot find it in any description. This is funny because I got so inspired by this concept and my main prompt for this design is intelligence. But creativity is there and this is very close to the intelligence. Anyways, when I thought about orange and intelligence, one picture immediately popped into my mind. Luca from Chrono Trigger. And it hooked me. Chrono Trigger is my favorite piece of media. 25 years passed since I played it for the first time and I am still obsessed and not ashamed. There is no way that I could let this idea be wasted. I am not going for Luca Repaint this time, it will come one day too, but for Luca inspired steampunk engineer, so let's go! I don't have that much options for a base doll because the only orange doll I have is Toralai. Also I have got this Toralai Clio hybrid which Enchanterium sisters used once for similar one color collab to represent color red, but I wanted to have something brighter this time. So without further ado, let's bring her to my Murine spa, where each doll is treated like a queen. Hours to day treatment follow up our standard workflow. First is bolt cut. Then gentle decapitation, this time successful and no doll get harmed. Next is brain extraction. Then we did famous doll motion treatment and relaxing bath in isopropanol to remove rest of sticky brain tissue. We finished with deep cleaning acetone face mask and deep body peeling with sanding blocks to remove all body marks. Murine spa. Everything for those who wants a new start. This time I started with her face. After spraying her with DuraClear Ultra Matte Varnish, I started to contour her face and body with orange soft pastels. This step went pretty smoothly, but problems begin when I started to draw her face. Often I am just rolling with it, trying not to be scared with ugly face, but this time I wasn't filling this face up. I didn't know to which direction I should go with her, and at some point I just painted her only one eye and mostly off camera. And what I got is very pretty, but I wasn't feeling if this is what I really wanted for this character to be. At some point I gave up and left her for over 6 months. After such long break, I looked at her once again with fresh eye and I realized 2 things that bother me the most: lips and eyebrows. I removed them and started fresh, going for a more natural look this time. I liked what I did for her eye, so I decided to mimic this with the other. On this mold, eyes are sitting quite deep in the face and at the same time are pretty big, which I found very difficult to paint. To make it work, I decided to make area around her eyes darker and give her tired look. I think that it suits her. I am a scientist and when I think about the feeling I feel the most, it is being tired. However, when you work over 10 hours per day, it is hard not to be tired. I see in my orange engineer a person who is fully devoted to her work, but she is just doing what she loves. I don't know if this is only me, but she totally looks like animated Padma Amidala from Clone Wars. I got these orange wefts from my Annie of Green Gables repaint, it's been a while, which I glued to her scalp using hot glue. To create the part line, I glued the weft in opposite direction and flip it back to create clean fold. Time to pull out Luca's inspiration. She wears this orange dress which I am going to recreate for my orange engineer. I prepared the pattern and cut the parts from this textured orange fabric. To prevent material from frying, I protected the corners with fray check. Next, I hemmed front part by hand. I was in hand sewing mood this time. Then I sew the armholes, since this dress will not have sleeves. Lastly, I sew the darts on the chest and sew under the armholes, right sides in. And the bodice is done! Fits perfectly! Next is time for the skirt part. I already prepared the parts which I sew together, hemmed on the sides and connected to the bodice. Neat! Luca wears short leggings and I decided to add it as well. I found these in my stock of Monster High clothes and they fit perfectly, so I am proudly recycling them. She needs belt. I measured her waist and marked it on this grey faux leather. I'm going for a white belt to cover the seam on her dress. Next, I am trying to prepare the buckle out of this paper clip, but it was going so wrong, and at the end it wasn't that good looking I was hoping for. After some brainstorming, I decided to go with magnet closure. I attached to the one side flat magnet using Gorilla Glue, and when it dried, I put it to the doll and add second magnet on the top to make a closure. It actually works great and looks really cute. Then I painted it black. Time to bring some steampunk vibes and give her dramatic sleeves. I measured her wrist and biceps and cut 2 black elastics of these lengths. To make a sleeve, I measured the length of her hand and cut it from the paper. To make a pattern, I cut it and spread to make almost half circle. I've seen stuff like this made by Lady Dynamite Creates, and this is so clever. I cut it from black mesh, sew it to the elastics, close on the sides, flip the right sides out, and sleeves are done. Steampunk means gears. I have these, but they are not really orange. To make them right color and to keep their metallic shyness, I mixed these orange mica powders with glossy varnish, making custom metallic orange paint. When doing this, it's important to add a lot of mica powders. And trust me, there is no such thing like too much mica. If paint is too thick, just add little more varnish. You can also use water, but varnish conserves the powders, so you don't need sealant later. And of course, use gloss one to keep the sparkle. Okay, her hands are not the right color and now it's time to fix it by painting the glove part black. Her left hand is not Toralai's but Kitten was. It has got this strong sculpting, so I decided to change it into metallic cyborg hand. Who doesn't want to have such fancy automail? For her shoes, I found in my stock box these Rebecca Steam ones, which are perfect. I painted them black and dry brushed with my orange metallic mix. I am not so good in dry brushing, so to enhance the sculpt, I did wash with black paint. I painted gears with my sparkly mix, and when they dried, I attached them to her dress with fabric glue. One gear went also on her belt. So here she is so far. These gears on her butt doesn't look that good, so I took them off. To cover glue spot, I sewed the roses made from satin ribbon. I made such roses for my Scarlet Queen, my first doll in this rainbow installment, and I wanted them to be a recurring motif. I had to rewatch my own tutorial to remind myself how to do them. I added them to her dress and also sewed the gears in couple places to secure them. I gave her also this small cute watch next to her belt. I also glued to her shoes these black rose charms and dry brushed them with my orange paint mix. Seriously? For her hair, I decided to give her simple ponytail. Luca is wearing bob and I was thinking of giving her bob as well, but then it turned out that I gave her exact hairstyle which she had before customization, and it didn't feel right with me, since I cheerfully chopped them off at the very beginning in my mirroring spa. Luca wears this helmet thing on her head, but I wasn't feeling this literally for my orange engineer. Instead of it, I decided to give her a headband with goggles on it. It will be also an homage to Luca's glasses. I measured her head and prepared the band out of Worbla Thermoplastic, which I shaped on her head. Using Worbla, I also prepared the glasses part by making small caps, which then I attached to the headband. I wasn't planning it, but she actually can wear it as glasses. She doesn't see anything through them, but still it looks cool. I painted goggles with black and then my metallic orange mix, keeping inside of the goggles black. I filled goggles with Mod Podge and put their orange metallic foil for nail art. I added also couple orange rhinestones for additional texture. When glue dried, I filled the goggles with UV resin. I was so impatient that Mod Podge didn't cure properly and some white spots are visible, but let's ignore them. Off camera, I decorated goggles with roses. I found this orange scarf, also Luca inspired, and I think we are done. It turned out that she's the most accessorized doll. I needed to film final assembly twice because I forgot about some garment. And here is the final result. I am so happy with her and I had so much fun working on her outfit. I am happy that she resembles Luca, but at the same time she is her own unique person with steampunk twist. This is my first time tackling steampunk and I think it worked. I love how she turned out and that she looks great with Scarlet Queen, who got little dusty over the months. Can't wait to see whole set. But the next color will be yellow and I am so scared. It is already a difficult color and my only yellow doll is a male one. I never repainted a guy, so this will be a challenge. Once again, happy Pride Month! I am thinking of one more doll for this year's Pride celebration, but I didn't start her yet, so she will be most likely somewhere in July. But it doesn't matter, because every month and a day is good to celebrate who you are and what makes you happy. So what do you think about her? Let me know in the comments. And this is all for today. See you next time. Bye!